Today, I'm going to answer the question of what is the best AoE healing staff in the game. For those that don't know, AoE healing means area of effect healing. That means a heal, which encompasses a large area to heal multiple allies at once. Now, this is not for dungeons. This might not even be for Zerg versus Zerg. This is purely my own research so that I can find out how many people I can heal and what heals the most in a faction versus faction environment, because I just like to faction flag up. I don't join guilds, I don't join ZVZs, I just faction flag up, and if there's like 10 people around me that are in my faction, if I want to play a healer that day, then I want to know what's going to heal them the fastest and the most reliably. So let's get into it. Now, in Albion Online, there are two different healing staffs. There are the Holy Staffs and the Nature Staffs, and the first test we're going to run is which of these has the best AoE Q and W abilities. So they're all the same across all Holy Staffs, all the same across Nature Staffs. I just want to find out, with maximum spec and tier 6 flat, which one will heal the most. Now, there are a few exceptions because it is the test realm. For instance, like some items were less available than others. So instead of 6.4, I have 6.3 excellent quality. So there is a 50 to 75 IP difference, but it shouldn't be that too hard to complain, or to compare rather. So I'm going to go ahead and run these tests, and I'll be right back with the results. And just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to cast on these healing dummies. I'm going to cast the Q spell and then the W spell for all the holy staffs that have an AoE healing ability on their E spell. And then write down this number. So this one is 1,299. I'm doing this unbuffed, without food buffs, without even the proper healing gear, because I want a nice, solid foundation. For the Nature Staff, the way I'm going to do this test is I'm going to cast 3 Q stacks on myself, then spread it using the W ability to the target dummies. So here are the results. You may be wondering, well, if it has a higher IP, it'll obviously heal more, silly, but that's not always the case. If you take the Oathkeeper's Q damage, it does more damage than a mace with a crypt candle, which mathematically doesn't make sense. But anyway, here we are. This is the test results. So you can see that the Holy Staff's Q and E spell, not only are they healing above that of Nature, they also have a lower cooldown. For instance, the Nature's W spell, which is how you spread your healing to everyone around you up to, what is it, 10 targets? Yeah, it's 10 targets. Is a 20-second cooldown, whereas the Holy Staff W is a 15-second cooldown, and also the Q spell, like just in general, you're healing more over time with your Q. I put Q and E, I didn't mean Q and E, I meant Q and W, so let me fix that real quick, there we go. Okay, so now that that's fixed, anyway, these are the fun numbers, but what about the E spell? So now I'm going to test out the E spell and see which one is the best at healing. Okay, so here are the results of the E spell. Now, this is interesting because I'm considering cooldown time, and I'm going to do some math on that and show the numbers now if you were to heal based on the cooldown of it. So what I'm going to do is take the amount healed, divide it by the cooldown, and then have that as a number to see which one of these is the absolute best healer. We can see a huge discrepancy now from the Blight Staff and the Rampant Staff. Now, the Rampant Staff, because the way it works, you need more than 3 targets, okay? Like, if I cast the Rampant Staff on myself while standing in it as well, it might... Nah, it's not going to heal more. Okay, anyway, it's still 66 tick. So... yeah, with that said, there's like no reason to use this in a faction fight, because I'm only going to be healing anywhere from 3 to 10 people at a time. I'm not going to have hundreds on the screen. You know, this is the widest area of effect heal, but it's also the weakest, so it's not useful for me. Here we are with the numbers based on their cooldown. So you'll notice the Fallen Staff, which is everyone's favorite for like ZVZs, 44.1, which is not bad. Then you have the Redemption Staff, which this is only when it heals 2 targets. If it bounces any more than 2, that number is going to be cut in half or even thirds, depending on where that bouncy orb goes, which is much higher than the Fallen Staff. So if you're only healing 2 people, like maybe yourself and another person, then hey, Redemption Staff, pretty dang good. Holy Staff, which is a single target weapon, which shouldn't even be in this test anyway, or this video, but whatever. It's got a pretty high number if the target is below 40% health. So if you want to like quickly like save someone from death, this weapon would be it. But the whole point of healing a multitude of people in a faction fight is so that you get faction points. And if I'm just healing one person, I'm not going to get as many points. So this weapon is kind of redundant. But hey, that 54.4 is really nice if they are above 40% HP, so it's still better than the Fallen staff if you're healing a single target. Like, if you just want to heal a single person, it's pretty dang good, but whatever. Okay, so the Nature Staff now, you'll notice that the number is not quite there with 0 charges, but I'm going to be real, why would you be throwing out your heal with 0 charges? It's 4 button pushes to double that number and then some, so really, really good on the Nature Staff. Pretty huge, 68.6. That beats Fallen by a good amount. That beats, well, it almost beats Redemption, but hey, we're going to be healing more than 2 people most of the time anyway. Wild Staff, it did better than Fallen Staff. Blight Staff did the best. I'm going to tell you right now, Blight Staff, and the thing with Blight Staff is the cooldown reduction starts when you cast it, and because it's channeling, you're able to move. Now, remember when I said the Rampant Staff had the biggest AoE, like, area? Well, guess what? The Blight Staff, you can move your AoE circle wherever it's needed, so you're going to hit the most allies with it. And look at that, I'm already down to 18 seconds when I'm done casting, so it's a little bit harder to judge, but right now, I think that Blight Staff is the clear winner of this test, as far as healing per second goes, because it's going to hit 10 targets, which is how much it says in the tooltip here. And you can move in and out of the way, so if there's like someone, running towards you that's about to die, you can hover towards them and then, hit them at least a little bit before they die. As long as you get credit for healing them, you get faction points. That's all that matters. This is the full combo results if you use your Q, your W, and your E spell on these weapons. The Fallen Staff, while being able to heal 10 targets with all 3 of its spells, it's for 2,622. Now, do note that the Fallen Staff has a delay on its E spell. It has to fully grow into a big circle, but also it's worth mentioning that the Fallen Staff has an ability, or its E ability, I'm sorry, hold on, let me move this over. Its E ability cleanses and all crowd control debuffs except for damage over time, which is really, really nice. But I'm usually healing the back lines and not the front lines, so it doesn't really help me much. Okay, then the Redemption Staff, that's only 2 targets, okay, not 10. So that number is pitiful. Now, the cool thing about the Redemption Staff, because I want to say nice things about all of these, not just bad things, is that you can fire off the bouncy orb and then run the hell away from wherever it is you're healing from and escape without a repair bill. Okay, and then the Holy Staff is just a single target weapon. It is the fastest of the healing items listed here. Okay, because you can immediately fire off that E spell and change the outcome of a fight if you're healing a single target. Because it's instant, there's no animation, it's just as soon as you push that button, they are healed. There's no wind up, there's no flashy orb of light, it's just boop healed. So it wins the speed award for sure, and it's a good amount of health too. Then you have the Nature Staff, okay, the regular Nature Staff. The E on that is also instant, and it's an area of effect that can heal 10 targets. You can see that it is just barely below the Holy Staff. Now, the thing with the Holy Staff is that you don't need any special, criteria to meet it. It just heals when you push the button, whereas with the Nature Staff, you need 3 charges, which are these things. You need 3 of these little leaf icons surrounding your target, which you can instantly do with your W spell, but you have to get 3 of those on some target first. I like to cast it on myself, then spread it to others. That way it ensures that I don't die. But you could cast 3 leaves on a target further away, and then spread it to everyone around that target. Well, my W's on cooldown, so I can't cast it in time, because it's gonna run. Maybe I will. But there you go. You spread it, and then you push your E spell, and well, his leaves ran out, so he wouldn't have gotten the heal. But Nature Staff, still really fast. Then you have the Wild Staff, which puts a big circle on the ground and heals people over time. It's very, very slow. It is the slowest one so far that we've seen. And you can't move the circle, but with Blight Staff, look at that. Not only does it heal way more than Wild Staff, you can move the circle wherever you need it to. So why would anyone ever use the Wild Staff at all? it heals less than the nature staff. It heals less than the blight staff. Then you have the rampant staff, which just sucks. Rampant staff is another pitiful weapon. Like, it's just like these tests show that if you see someone with a rampant staff, why are they using it? Tell them to use a blight staff. So what I got from this little test here is that for faction fight ZVZs, for faction fighting in general, the blight staff is not only does it heal more, it's mobile. It's more mobile, and it is a heal over time. It's not as fast as the nature staff, so you're not gonna like, clutch it out, I guess. But like I said, if you're just sitting in the back lines, people are retreating. Normally, what happens in faction fights is once you push to the enemy's territory, they push back and then you run away. Unless you're in like some kind of organized group. I'm just talking about randomness, not even in a Discord. You're just out and about and you see a blob, so you join the blob and you go capture some points for like 10 to 20 minutes, and then you go back to farming whatever it is you were doing. The Blight Staff is king. And that's all I have for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Swole Benji. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Videos every day on this channel. On the right side of your screen right now, right over here, is a video you should absolutely click. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Take care.